talk to me about Excel, you crazy character.
Dude, I had something happened today. Oh, I had a dentist appointment. Right?
Ah, the dentist.
So the dentist, you tell me when we're on the air, when we're ready, when we're launching, because I'm ready to go here.
Do people want to know about the dentist?
No. Welcome in. I got to change my background. The last time you saw me here, I already had this stinking. Although technically these two teams are playing tonight, so maybe I'll keep it here. Welcome in. It's the Odd Shop, the midweek edition. Ben Rasa is in the house at Jazz Raz DFS. Eytan Shander at Shander Show. Mike Lawrence is your producer, and you are the community. You're here. That's right. We appreciate you wholeheartedly just for spending some time with us. It doesn't matter how much time it is. It's your time, so thank you. Thumbs up. Subscribe. And I was telling Ben here, Ben's upset at me because this is now 2 straight days that he has blocked out time on his calendar to work, to help me, not just to sit with me and talk and appease me, but to actually help me. And I blew him off again today, but I was trying to explain that the dentist was about a 25-minute appointment that took, I'd say, about 55 minutes. So the reasoning, Ben, and hey, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
I'm very good.
I want to make sure.
No.
So the dental hygienist, she is a beautiful soul, like just an amazing woman. She knows me. I'm there because she knows my wife, her wife's family, like great person. But I think, she's the only one there. They don't have a lot of clientele. She's seen me on TV a couple times there. So we talk. I'm telling you, every 15 seconds was a stop. And hey, what about that? That's why I blew you off today. That's why.
Well, no excuses. I'll say this. I'll let it slide because yesterday was a real good day.
Okay,
real
enough.
Good stuff. And I'm feeling pretty happy about it. It gives me some momentum heading into the show. We're going to get into all that. We're obviously going to talk NBA, NHL, baseball. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk college baseball on here. I got some real shady plays on the docket, but even though you blew me off trying to help, I don't know. Last night I woke up. You had some good screenshots in my channel with your nuggets. That was some good work last night.
I think what it was is my channel was just so tired of hearing my shit that I figured I would just exactly, because like Lindquist, he doesn't pay attention to anything unless it has his name in it, right? Like he is so super self-absorbed to that extent. So I figured at least we could have some fun on your channel. Now the shit has to hit, right? Like that's the big thing there. But that's the beauty. I will say this, and let me just further the point that you made on the Discord, and it's the same thing on the Chalkboard app. You see above the Chalkboard's the free. I saw this. Lofty and Greg, these guys had themselves a freaking run last night on the Chalkboard app as well, Ben. But for me, what I would say is that what happened yesterday, as far as we constantly jump in and out of each other's channels. And today was another example where somebody was asking in my channel about parlays, because we see this all the time, right? Like the minus 600 legs that just get loaded up. And it's not always a negative. It's not always like, oh my God, don't do that. But there was some pretty interesting and necessary logistics as far as what a plus EV parlay looks like with 3 minus 300 legs. And you really did a good job of coming in there. So that's all it is about the Discord, is that it's a bunch of all of us there together. That's all.
Yeah. Good times. Like I said, things were real good last night. Probably one small, if I had a minor take back. I believe I said that the Hawks were drawing to a meteor hitting. And I have it on pretty good authority that a meteor did not hit, and yet they did win the game. Didn't really matter. I had no actionable play there, but that was truly stunning. The shows. That's why you shouldn't mention space on these shows. I learned that the hard way. But that was a shocker. Everything else went very well.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not like you launched a rocket at a Cape Canaveral and
I might as well
exploded. Was it that close?
It was. I don't really understood what went on with the Celtics last night. Shout out to Trae Young. We're going to talk. Oh yeah. Borjan, Warriors first half full time. That's a steamy bet right there. If you go that way, we're going to talk about that game. I can't wait to talk my Kings tonight, the last stand at home.
Yeah, you see it already. Mac Hudson, Giannis points ladder. We've got a bunch of stuff in there.
I
And
hit
don't
the
worry,
ladder
Calvin.
yesterday, by the way.
Did you?
I got to take my
Nice.
victory lap because I never hit ladders. I hit the Jamal Murray ladder from this show yesterday. He had 5 threes, 5 for 9, put it on the board. Like, it
Nice.
felt like you out there.
Well, I was gonna say, like, maybe we can ladder a comeback play like we did on your Discord.
We're gonna try. I'm now officially team ladder after that.
Look at that. It took one, you degenerate. I love it. All right. What I always like to start here, and it's across the board. You've got now 4 games to really choose from. What's the most confident thing that's going to happen tonight for Ben Rasa? It doesn't even need to be a play right away. It's just like a team wins. It's going to go over this, or, it's a wire to wire. Whatever the most confident thing is that you see across the board here. I think mine is actually in Memphis, to be honest with you, but I'm going to hold off. I'm just curious to see what you say as far. And again, maybe it is that halftime, full time. You mentioned that bet, something to that extent, but you've got 4 games. You've got a ton of different angles that we can start with. We will check the OddsShopper premium tool, give you the free week and all that. Although I don't know how much longer that's going to last. So you better jump on right now today, like right away, and get that free tool. Don't worry. You can still use the tool throughout the rest of the show. So what's the number one on the confidence meter for Ben Rasa?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll get into some and we'll recap the community parlay from yesterday. We'll talk community parlay. I think for me, the most confident in terms of like sensible picks, I think some of these home teams are going to take advantage of. And you can start at the top. I'm not saying bet these. In fact, I'm saying probably don't bet these. Milwaukee, I don't see any way they see them losing at home tonight. I think they're going to force game 6. Boston Bruins. Obviously, they have a much better chance to lose than Milwaukee, but I really don't see them losing at home. They're going to close out that series. The Avalanche. I don't really see them losing at home. I think they're going to take it back to Seattle up 3-2. So there's a string of teams at home today that I think are the vastly superior team that need the games. And I think we're going to see them pretty much skate through unaffected tonight. So that's where I'm looking. But within that, we have to find the right number to support those plays. With a team like Milwaukee, I don't think their money line is actionable right now.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I'm not going to take that spread. I think there are other ways in which you can attack Milwaukee by all means. The Knicks-Cavs game, I think, is the one that becomes the most intriguing, especially with a team up 3-1 on the road, getting 5.5. The Grizzlies, and I'm just going to come out right away. All right. I'm just going to come out with the hammer right away. All right. I'm on the Lakers tonight. And I think I see a pathway where the Lakers, battle tested with LeBron, AD, like this is a year, much like Miami, Ben, where the Lakers were underachieving. They got dealt with injuries. Like it wasn't because they were a dog shit play-in team, that just circumstances happened. And you're seeing that on the East, I think, with Miami as well. So I did it. I jumped on the ladder. I see an opportunity here for LA to be down and to spark a comeback with that level of leadership up there. So I think down 10 to win, like I think you can take the value clearly of the Lakers on the money line at plus 150, 152, wherever you can find the best deal. If you wanted to take the 4, okay. But I'm there. I think the Lakers close this thing out. And we see it's not easy. It's not going to be easy. So I'd be inclined to just start right away and say, all right, give me the Lakers down 10 to win 600, 15 to win 1,600. And then why the hell not 20 to win is 55-1. But the bigger thing is I see Memphis losing a lead and losing this game ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, Memphis is the type of team to do that. So I have no issues with it. You got to find the right formula. And we see these swings. I mean, look at the Hawks last night. They were dead and buried.
Crazy.
Come right back. And we do have, we'll talk about that. The DK up 10 automatically win. You want to take one of those. I believe it is. Calvin just mentioned that it is. So
okay, because yeah, I mean, we were on an absolute tear with this. It came back for one night and we smashed it on the Discord and then it disappeared.
Yeah, so that's one. Even we did it with the Hawks the first time. I think the Heat, even in this game, you're getting a big time potential payout and all they got to do is be up 10. So we'll take a shot with that later in the show. I want to answer one question
So,
from chat. Sorry.
yeah.
All right.
No,
Just
go ahead. Go ahead.
Borjam is asking about what does halftime full time mean? And all it means is so you have to win the first half and then win the game. If you're up
Correct.
25 at halftime and you win the game by 1 point, you still win. It's not like they have to actually win both halves. They just have to be leading at halftime and ultimately win the game. That's all.
Correct. Correct. By the way, I do not in Pennsylvania have that DK up 10 to win.
They probably have you flagged. You're too sharp.
Yeah, right. I mean, trust me, they won't cap me on a Raul Neto player prop, but for some reason they won't give me this.
I'm not logged in, but I have it on my banner right now. So yeah.
Mike, where are you?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well there
New
you go.
York.
Because you New York scum up there are getting all this shit. That's why, because they have to appease the 50 million people that are jammed in New York City, and then like the 60 other people that happen to live in Buffalo. Oh. Now Mike doesn't know what to do because he's Buffalo and Philly. So he's like, wait a second. There's a Philly guy ripping Buffalo.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, well, look, I am a man of the people. Okay, I don't want to hear anything else. I will go through this with you. So real quick, I know we're going to hit some promos in a second.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned the community parlay. We have to recap that since you guys hit this. But I've done this before. And I'm curious, would you do the opposite, like down 10? So, for example, if you were to take the Miami Heat, the 11.5, 12-point dog Miami Heat, and play them up 10 because they're the biggest money line favorite right on the board, play them up 10 and win. Would you not play the Milwaukee down 10 to come back and win? It's not a middle because there's nothing guaranteed, but you at least know that one can't hit without the other.
No, but neither could hit.
Absolutely. Neither can hit. I agree.
Yeah.
You're going with the premise that you're betting the Miami thing because you believe it to hit.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. What I would say to that is I'm not betting it believing it can hit. It's going to hit. I'm betting it because with the boost, the value is there. The additional equity makes whatever you're going to get on them, say like +4 and change, worth it. So you could do that. You just open yourself up to a pretty large anti-middle.
Huge. Absolutely. It was asked to me on the Discord earlier today about, would you take both teams in the same game? And earlier when that spread was a little tighter with the Knicks and the Cavs, I thought, you know what, there actually could be some value there, but I had to explain that you are guaranteed nothing, right? Like you are absolutely guaranteed nothing. And look, as somebody who's been playing this on a nightly basis since the prop came out, I can't tell you, Ben, how often a team gets up 9 in the first quarter, a timeout is called, and that run dies. So whatever the league is, or the books have figured out, 10 appears to be a pretty key number when it comes to runs in the NBA. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, I'm more of an advocate. You have your boost, you have your promo, you can do that. Okay. You can also go live bet some of this stuff. So if you don't have unlimited boost where you automatically win, if a team falls down like last night, you maximized it. The Nuggets went way down and you had them coming back and winning. I took a more conventional approach. And I mentioned this on my insider access. If the Nuggets fell behind, I liked them live. And you could have got them at various positions when they were down, not to the same odds that you got, but also I got to watch the game and gauge it a little differently. So there's multiple ways to approach in-game betting like that, and this boost is one way to do that.
Okay, I love it, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. You guys hit the community parlay yesterday.
Yes, we did.
And you've already mentioned this twice, so I know that I can't continue the show without at least bringing this up. The big thing is the community. Like, I expect you and Lofty to hit.
Community
but
did
to
well.
Come to what?
Yeah, the community did very well. T-Wolves were in it, obviously.
They were. But my point being is that you've got a community that comes to get. Now, granted, it's majority rule. I understand that. But to come to a consensus to hit a winning bet, then that's impressive. And Calvin Weeks has no problem admitting that he is on the opposite side of every public community leg that gets played. Oh my
I
God.
love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely. Okay.
It
I
worked
love
out
that,
well.
man.
Yeah, it's listen, you only got to hit a couple of those to get ahead of the game. We got some breathing room there. Obviously, Lofty took one of the best props on OddsShopper Premium, which is the one of, the thing that powers this entire show. The Oilers were surgical. And now we got a whole bunch today. I just did what I always do. I just went to the board and I pressed refresh. And let's see. Anthony
What you
Davis, he's
got?
been up there a lot all morning. I don't know if you were
Yeah.
looking at the tool, but Anthony Davis, if you want to dive into it, is the guy we're going to be talking about here.
Yeah, actually, he's in my parlay of the day today. So
Okay.
the video that came out, we had one play from each game, and he on FanDuel at under 13.5. It's dropped a little bit now, and that's fine. I mean, it was 132 earlier in the day. It's 128, but it's all comparative, right? So even though 132 is a higher number than 128 at the time in which I got it, it could be a better percentage, et cetera. Like that's just how the market works and all. But the point being is, I mean, I think this makes a lot of sense. We've seen Anthony Davis hit this once, and that was that big AD game in the 4 that we've seen so far. So AD really hasn't had this monster game outside of the 1. And I don't necessarily know that changes all of a sudden tonight on the road against Memphis. So the market is definitely telling you that, you're going to get a good price here. Some have dropped to 12.5. Some books have dropped to 12.5 already. So the market is definitely working. But just looking at the game itself, I don't know what changes for Anthony Davis where all of a sudden now he grabbed 14, 15 rebounds.
No, again, I mean, he's obviously there's been ebbs and flows within his game, but you just look at this number. Pretty easy. This is, again, I know we're talking about that. I've been talking with chat while you were talking about the different types of tools that we
Yeah.
have and the market-based approach. That's what it's all about, is aggregating what the books are doing. And I'm looking at this Anthony Davis rebounds prop. Some books have already made the move to 12.5.
Yeah.
A lot of them, actually. So not only are you stealing a rebound, you're not paying that much more juice for the extra rebound. And that's where the value comes in. Pretty simple for me. That should be at the top of, I think, most people's cards if you can find that line at 13.5.
And you can at other books too. It's just FanDuel is clearly what we have as the best one. There was another one too, because a lot of unders tonight, right? You'll see that.
Good.
But Luke Kennard is sitting here at over 2.5 rebounds for plus 215 on DraftKings. Now, this is a bet that you can also place on, I think, BetMGM also for plus money. But Ben, he's gone over this each of his last 3 games and only failed to do this in game 1, that loss at home, that game 1 loss, which was just an abomination for a lot of people on Memphis. But he's gone, I mean, in 2 games, he's comfortably gone over this number.
Yeah, I mean, this is a weird one for sure for me, because you look at it and you kind of have to ask yourself, like, did something happen? Luke Kennard only played 14 minutes in game 4. But at the same time, you're getting plus money. You don't really, that's the beauty of it. I know I'm saying the same thing over and over. You don't really have to examine it. The market did that work for you. So I don't really have a strong take on Luke Kennard's rebounding potential, but I do have a strong take on the number there. So, yeah, he could get phased out. I guess that's my biggest worry, is he just plays like 9 minutes, but
yeah, but
maybe not.
The thing, to your point, and look, I'm not going to go through each and every one of his rebounds, but to what you were saying, as far as the market has done the work for us, I think the second step that people can take is to make sure that you're still good with the bet. It's not like, oh, Luke Kennard could like take the opposite side, but you may want to talk yourself through it. You may want to walk through it and see, okay, does it still make sense? Because not every single bet is going to be for you out there. But a bet like this, you already know step 1, to Ben's point, has been taken care of, which is you're finding that you already have the best price and you have the best number for Luke Kennard to go over 2.5 rebounds. if you want to take that second step, it's not to say whether or not you're going to go over or under. It would be just to confirm that you are going over. And look, there must be something, unless it's like 3 lucky bounces, there must be something to him catching 4 rebounds in that 14 minutes of work. But you're right. I don't know what happens. You do have a guy right now that is basically spot instant offense, right? Like Luke Kennard comes in and his goal is to do what? Shoot threes or put the ball on the floor and maybe create some spacing and get the ball back and shoot threes. I'm going to jump on it.
Again, he's not supposed to get him. Like, he's plus money. So you're not saying, oh, he's going to do this the majority of the time. No, that's not the case. You just need him to be a coin flip and you're going to come out ahead here. So I got one for you though.
Let's do it.
I got a real dangerous one. Chad, I want to hear your thoughts on this because we all saw it. We didn't get to talk about it. We can now. Jimmy Butler went Captain Insano. Just insane. 56 points. 19 of 28 from the field. 3 of 8 from 3, which is super atypical for Jimmy Butler. Under 1.5 threes tonight. Normally, the juice would be way higher, but given how he's been shooting in the last couple games, that's a pretty manageable number. You can get under this for just minus 155 out there. What a scary proposition. I kind of want to take this, and I see minus 180, minus 175 out there, but man, fading Jimmy Butler is a dangerous game right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking for a lot, but let me say this, all right, before I come down on this play on either side. Earlier in the day, and I just want to make sure that it's still there. Yeah, okay. So earlier in the day, we had on the tool Giannis Antetokounmpo under 40. I just want to make sure if it's still there. Okay, it's under 48.5. It's still there at plus 102. So before we get into your bet, I'm not going to go into Giannis. Mike, you don't have to go into Giannis or anything like that. I'm just using this. I've already faded a superstar tonight in this game. So
can't do two.
No. I don't even think it's that. I think it's actually the opposite. Where I don't look, there's nobody I promise you, there was nobody in Philadelphia that wanted Jimmy Butler here more than me and was more upset than me with Jimmy Butler leaving Philadelphia. So I love this man, love him. But I'm with you where it's a 12.5, right? 11.5, 12-point spread. If this does play out and Miami is cooked and they're trying to build for game 6 at home or game 6 at home, why would Jimmy Butler be in there with 8 minutes left and they're down by 14 points in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to play major minutes. My feeling is more, and Chat's already pointed this out, like normally him hitting 1-3 is the line. And it just seems to me early, he might try to continue what he's been doing. If it doesn't fall, I think there's a very real chance he's like 1 for 3 from 3 tonight. Like, I don't see him taking 8, 7, 10 threes all the time now. I think that's more atypical. He got crazy hot in the last couple games. Is it really shocking to think that Jimmy Butler might only take a couple 3-point attempts tonight?
Well, here's the difference, though. You don't have Tyler Hero on this team right now.
That's a good point.
And Max Strus is streaky. So I think, okay. What the play is over, right?
No, it's under.
No, but I'm saying I get it. But the play would be like the counter play, would be to go over. So
yeah, I'm not going. I mean, I'm gonna go under this. It checks out. It's
pass.
Just scary. It's super.
Are you
scary.
really gonna bet this?
Yeah, I like.
Put this in the community parlay. That's how I know.
I don't know if I can do it. I don't want to let the community down.
Wait a second. So it's just your money.
Yeah, it's just my money. No one cares about my money. But yeah, the other thing about the Heat, hold on, let's talk about this. Yes, Hero's down, but the one thing they have abundance of is 3-point shooters. Like, Strus can shoot it. Duncan Robinson can shoot. Like, they don't need Jimmy Butler to fill that void. He is not a 3-point shooter, and I don't think he needs to be tonight.
he's not a 3-point shooter in the regular season, but I think look, first of all, the guy went 4 for 4 before he jacked up 8. He went 2 for 4 in game 2. Point being is that these are special circumstances.
I agree with
in a
that.
playoff game, right? And my only point about Strus and Duncan Robinson, these guys are not the number 1 or really number 2. You can argue Strus depending on the game, but they're not top options for a reason. They're there as far as spot. Like Max Strus is there in spot situations where, like, okay, you get 30 from Strus. That's a freaking blessing, but chances are that 1 or 2 other guys had shitty nights. That's all I'm looking at is I wonder if Jimmy Butler just absolutely takes control and has the volume. Because if he takes 7 or 8 threes, you're going to lose. And I don't even know how much weight you can afford to lose right now, but you're going to lose like 10 pounds alone watching this game tonight.
That'd be a problem. Again, this is all a volume play. And
okay,
you just have to ask yourself, has the market overreacted to Jimmy Butler's recent performances? It's as simple as that. Because the books right now, it doesn't matter what I think. The books right now have it. DraftKings has this at minus 180. Caesars has this at minus 156. PointsBet has this at minus 170. And BetMGM is at minus 155. So right there with Caesars. So to me, minus 155 is 25 cents difference than some of these others. Of course, Jimmy Butler could go 3 for 6 tonight. He could go 4 for 4, 3 for 3. Who knows? But I'm okay with this. I think that there's a very real chance Jimmy Butler's 3-point volume gives us more than our fair share. And let's be clear, he's not supposed to hit 2. This is not some toss up. Like, I got to win this a healthy clip to cover minus 155.
As somebody who has had his eye, may shock you, on the half 3-point prop throughout the regular season, Jimmy Butler is routinely at a half 3-point prop. Yeah. He has been jacked up as a result of this. So all the shit that I said, you can come right back and Ben's like, well, okay, I get it, circumstances, etc. But this number is normally at a half a 3 and has been adjusted because of Jimmy Butler's recent volume that you don't think will keep up. I'm fine with that. Absolutely fine with that.
To speak to both sides of it, and again, ultimately the market is the market. Jimmy Butler obviously knows and shows in the playoffs that he can do things that he just chooses not to do during the regular season. Like, there's no doubt that this guy can take over a game. That's an understatement after what we just saw. But I still think when push comes to shove, this is a pretty generous number on a guy that, I mean, I'll be very interested to see what his 3-point volume looks like tonight.
Max Strus under 2.5 threes. Minus 130 is beating the market exponentially on PointsBet. So these are never, I just want to let you know, the OddsShopper tool does not correlate anything. So just because Jimmy Butler is showing up on one book as under 1.5 doesn't mean the tool is like, oh, hell, go ahead and bet this other guy over, what have you. Yeah. Zero. I just want to let everybody else out know that, Ben. Zero correlation between these two. However, I'm just saying that we now have 2 of our stronger plays across all sports tonight are under Jimmy Butler threes and Max Strus threes. Yeah, my only point is if Strus stays under 3 threes, you may see another Jimmy Jack.
It's possible, but again, those are independent variables. You're not
completely.
Yeah. You're not same game parlaying them. You're not doing anything like that. Or at least I'm not. So I look at it. I also think and we don't see this a ton, and you jump on these very successfully, probably a better parlay piece, but both the Milwaukee Bucks first quarter money line and the Milwaukee Bucks first half money line show up as potential values today if you can get those numbers. And right now, first quarter money line on Bet Rivers, both of them on Bet Rivers, pretty generous numbers there if you want a parlay piece for a team that's a heavy favorite tonight.
Yeah, one thing, and shout out to Rich Burkholder for bringing this up. One thing that is definitely playable in these games are for guys like Butler and Giannis specifically. Used to be Julius Randle, but I don't know if that guy's still alive, let alone playing basketball, is the first quarter points, right? So if you are building, and we did this on Monday, just seeing what Giannis is, it's probably going to be 8.5. Now, yeah, it's 8.5 because it was at 7.5 last time out, and that has since adjusted. But okay, We got a couple out there. We'll bounce back. You want to look at some promos before we
Yeah,
build the
let's see
parlay,
what,
some prize picks?
oh yeah, we got to build some parlays.
Got to build some parlays. And man, you and I put out something earlier on Twitter, and I guess it's everywhere else now. Shout out to Nathan Joyce, who makes sure that everything that we do is across the board. So I already have a little 2-rung ladder from threes that I'm going to get into a little bit later. But let's see what we have today. Where should we begin, Mike, with some promos and build up? I guess we should start with the DraftKings one, since I don't have it, but you guys do. And you think Miami is the one, right?
Yeah, I mean, just generally with those, you want to maximize your pay because you can't bet a lot on it. It's like if you bet Milwaukee, you win like $2, and it's like they're probably going to win. You want to give yourself that equity of not saying, okay, I think Miami's going to win the game. I would be stunned if Miami won this game. Truly stunned. It's what are the chances they win the game? Plus, what are the chances that they're up 10 points at any time? That extra equity gets you over the line, making it a profitable spot. So for me, that's fine. What else do we have here? Single parlay.
I'm not going to play. Yeah, like I'm not going to play the Caesars one. I think you're better off playing these individually. I think that if you like the Knicks to win, just take the Knicks on the money line. I don't know if you have to necessarily force that thing. And look, if you're going to take a guy like Jalen Brunson, then I think you push this. If this is a closeout game on the road for the New York Knicks, we either have, I mean, he's playing upwards of 40 minutes, close to it a night.
Yep.
He's clearly has enough volume to get to 30 points. So I would just play Brunson 30 plus. I don't dislike this promo. I just think that personally, I would just bet the Knicks money line, and I would say, all right, let me see what I can get as you talk. Let me see what I can get for 30 plus for Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. Again, pre-made parlays, you got to be very, very careful. Just shopping the odds for the Knicks, you're going to get nearly 2-1 on them to win the game. So if you like the Knicks, that's a pretty nice bang for your buck right there. I'm not going to bet the Knicks tonight. I don't particularly think they win. I'm indifferent to the Caesars promo. Obviously, if the Knicks do win, the chances that Brunson has 25 plus points is elevated, but I still don't think it's a huge maximizing value type play. So for me, I'm indifferent to that one. I definitely believe you should take the up 10 promo on DraftKings. What do you got in terms of your Brunson? You find it?
Yeah, it's 290 for 30 points. I'd like
either.
it to be. No, it's not. It's now that's on FanDuel, so we can shop. Okay, so it was boosted.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and look, I mean, again, the Knicks are going to be near 2-1 at most spots, right? 180, 190, something in that range. I'm just curious what Brunson hitting. Now, he hasn't hit 30 at all, right? And that's going to be a big one. I tell you what I really like in this game, but I'll save that for when we get a little crazy here. Jalen Brunson 30 alt is yeah. So the best price that I found would be on FanDuel at 290. Last one there that we have is that last promo is a live same game parlay boost. This look at Ben's face. So I would personally not do this. Just because they have this boost doesn't mean that you have to do it. I personally would not do this. If you do choose to live bet at all, it doesn't matter if it's this boost or just place a live bet. Please, for the love of God, whatever entity you pray to on a daily basis, wait until there is a stoppage. My God, wait until there's a timeout. Wait until there's a dead ball. Wait until there's something. In some sports, it'll happen all the time. But don't think like, oh, I'm going to get ahead of something. You don't. Line shifts in hockey, you can get crushed on that because somebody mishandles the puck, what have you. Just wait until some stoppage. And then even then, I wouldn't do this bet.
No, I will say, though, to speak to the other side just of the boost, at least it's the right kind of boost. You're getting a blanket. I believe it's at 33%. So if you have a same game parlay or something that you like, you can attach this to anything. So I'm fine if you want to build one of those and apply this. But like you said, I'd probably wait for like the end of a quarter or even halftime potentially. You can take a breath. You can gauge the foul situation. You can gauge the live betting. But yeah, again, that's a cool boost just because you get to apply it to anything you want.
Yeah, Mike's good point. Same game
Yeah.
parlay can be as simple as a player prop, team money
Keep
line.
it
So long as
generic.
yeah,
Like my other
that's a good way
advice
to
for
put it.
this, the more you build out a bigger same game parlay, the more negative EV it probably is, and the less effective the boost will help you. Like keep it very vanilla and get your 33% and live with it.
Good point. Take your boost, put your head down, get the hell out.
Just don't
Not bad.
like, oh, I get a 33% boost. I'll make a 7-leg same game parlay. Like the boost might not even save you then because you're going to be in real bad shape.
Shout out to a couple of folks here, and I see Sir Swish just jumped in. We're rolling with Miami tonight. That's from Ben, so we're rolling with Miami. All right.
And just for the record, I can't say this strongly enough. We're rolling with Miami because that is where just like the Hawks. I really don't see Miami winning that game, but that is irrelevant. So before you make me a Heat truther,
I'm with it.
Get a plus 200 odds surge on the Panthers tonight. First goal scorer.
Okay, keep that up there. Keep that up there. All right. Let's do this. Let's go. Or I don't mean like physically keep that up there because you're gonna have to do a lot more, Mike. I'm sorry, but let's. I'm just curious. All right. So you have a 200 odds surge on any first goal scorer in Florida and Boston tonight. So I'm up on DK right now, and I have the first goal. I have the first goal props up, right? Like for first goal scorer.
Yeah.
So, like Pasta is going to be up there. Patrice is going to be up there. Usual suspects. Carter, Marchand, these guys, Matty Kachuk, what have you. But I am curious if we go to the OddsShopper tool, and I'm in right now NHL, and I'm on player props. I'm curious what pops in this game as far as the best ROI for a goal scorer in Florida, Boston. And that I would put it on that goal score, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's one where you got to find the right number. Pasternak's probably your best bet, but you also need to shop it because if they slash his number to apply the boost, you're not doing anything. So yeah, let the tool do the work there. You got one.
I do.
Okay.
Sam Reinhart.
Sam Reinhart. Beautiful. I would love to see that come to fruition.
Look, he's plus 1,500 without the boost. And as far as an anytime goal scorer, granted, it's 27% chance of hitting, what have you. But that's on another book. So the numbers won't necessarily. Let me just see what he's on. Okay, there's a little bit of a hit there. We may not have a guy right now on DraftKings.
See, the point is, though, I want to dig into this. So this is a perfect example. I love DraftKings. Use them probably more than any other book. He's 15-1 on DraftKings. You get your boost, right? You get to add plus 200, making him 17-1. He's 17-1 on FanDuel.
So you've boosted back to normal.
Back to normal. That's where you got to be careful. See what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah.
So that's all.
The only other guy, I mean, Sam Bennett is 20 to. What's Sam Bennett first goal scorer on FanDuel?
17-1.
Okay, right now,
Sam Bennett, I'm sorry. Sam Bennett is 21-1.
Okay, so Sam Bennett is 20-1 on DK. You add that boost, now you're ahead of FanDuel, even though you've started 100 points below. Does that work for you?
I mean, that's better. At least you're getting a line you can't find elsewhere.
I'm rolling Sam Bennett tonight.
Okay, Sam Bennett is.
I
don't care who it is. I just hope it's a Panther. But
that's it. Exactly.
That would be lovely. I don't see that happening, but I really do.
Let's build some parlays, man.
Let's build some parlays.
Where do you want to start? You want to start on FanDuel, DraftKings? What book do you want to start with?
Let's see what comes up here. Let's go FanDuel.
My suggestion would, that would be my suggestion. Okay. So I think we have two really strong plays. Let's do this, Mike. We're on FanDuel. Let's get rid of everything but Davis and Murray, and let's kind of start there.
Do you have a take on? I know we didn't really talk about it, and I want to make sure my boys get their recognition. What do you think about the Kings tonight? That's going to be a hell of a. I cannot wait to see that game.
Yeah, me too. I bet, full disclosure, I have a bet on the Discord Sacramento Kings to trail by 10 and win the game plus 550. So I think Seattle is down and finds a way to battle and push this. I've also bet a couple of other plays that Golden State does. I just don't think Golden State wins, nor do I see this wire-to-wire John Rahm type level of domination from Sacramento either. I think this is going to be where Golden State shows up to where they haven't on the road, but ultimately they blow a lead, and maybe it's a first quarter lead, what have you. I don't think it's like they're up by 10 with 8 to go in the fourth and they lose, but I think Sacramento wins tonight. I truly believe that, and I bet it accordingly.
Okay. I mean, I also obviously believe that they are going to win the series. I have them to win the series still. Now if I knew that De'Aaron Fox was going to break a finger on his shooting hand, that would be different. I do think that they're going to be just fine. We have the Murray prop in this parlay already. I'm going to save some thoughts on De'Aaron Fox for later in the show, but let's build out this parlay. What do you say?
Okay. I'm curious to hear how that plays with Fox. So first one is Anthony Davis under 13.5 rebounds. We already gave you that earlier today. That's one of our top plays. We know that from looking at it, other books are down to 12.5. So this is a great bet for me. I love this as an anchor, or kind of like quasi-anchor or co-anchor, if you will, with Keegan in there. This just seems like a really strong bet from OddsShopper with Anthony Davis under 13.5 boards.
Yeah, and it's moving. We talked about this one earlier in the show, and the juice is starting to compile. This is just showing you how valuable, again, you can get your free week below, how valuable this tool is. It's not going to be at 13.5 forever. In fact, I bet by the time this game tips off, 13.5 is gone. What else do you want to add here? We've got Sabonis. We've got Rui. We could go Drew Holiday. Something else.
Murray is there. Murray is there at under 5.5 rebounds. And I know the bet itself is live on the market because it's beating other books, and it's the best place to bet it would be on FanDuel popping up. But he's only had one game, and it was just a mass volume game for Keegan Murray in game 4 versus everything else, right? Like the 3 games prior, he was nowhere near combined points to the 23 that he dropped and the 5 threes that he hit. And that pushed him over the number of 5.5. So I'm willing to look at last game and think that's more of an anomaly, that Keegan Murray is not the main vehicle or one of the main vehicles of offense, and therefore he's just not, from a volume standpoint, going to be getting those rebounds like we saw in the previous 3 games, even though he sniffed around that. So I don't mind putting Keegan Murray in there. If you have another play from this game that you think is better, Sabonis is there with 13.5 boards as well. I'm fine with it, but I like Murray just on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, again, just look at he obviously got crazy hot. He played 33 minutes in that game. If he gets going again, he's going to play a ton. If not, though, could he regress to mid-20s or even high teens in minutes? I think that's definitely possible in this spot. So I'm fine with that in the parlay. Where else do you want to go, though? Obviously, 2-leg parlay for you. That might as well be a straight bet. That's not going to fly.
No, it's not going to fly at all. What I'd like to do is add a little balance here. So the strategy for me is to find a bet that's going to have a sweet spot of like 54 to 56%, what we believe it to hit, and the juice anywhere from like even money to minus 110. I think looking at something like that. So, for example, the one that I think could work would be, well, even Drew is not crazy, but that's at minus 120. So the one that I think could work is actually Kevin Love going over 7.5 points. We don't have it that high, or Jimmy. No, let's go Jimmy. You brought up Jimmy, right?
Were you talking in the third person like Seinfeld?
No,
don't make Jimmy mad.
Right. Well, exactly. Jimmy's new in town.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah, this is going to be.
He may not know people.
What do you want to do with Jimmy?
Well, the play would be under 41.5 PRA.
Oh my God. And you thought I was dangerous with his threes.
It's either that or Jarrett Allen at 10 rebounds? What do you feel more comfortable in?
Where's Jarrett Allen? You're pulling
It's
plays
a
from the clouds.
it's a plus EV bet. We have it north of 0%. It's got a 52 or so. He has not had the series as expected.
Yeah, I'm fine with Jarrett Allen. And there again, that's kind of like a break even. It's more of a sweetener just to up. It's not really doing anything to your ROI. It's a neutral bet almost. So it's fine. It's
Well,
going to increase. Yeah.
It's just a little positive. Come on, Ben. There's a
It's
difference between
negligible.
0 and all right. Well, do you want to go 8 points for Kevin Love? Let's see what the chat, weigh in.
Kevin Love. Okay. Why not both?
What do you
Can we
think?
do both?
Yeah, we can. And Antonio is right. I can't hear Jimmy. I'm sorry. I can only listen to Jimmy. All right, let's do Kevin Love. And what was the other one? Jimmy, under 41.5 PRA? Well, we can't do both now because it's one of the other.
No, what about Anthony Davis, Keegan Murray, Jarrett Allen over 9.5 boards, and Kevin Love over 7.5 points?
That's 4 legs to get you 1067 on FanDuel.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm fine with that.
It. You are?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to humor me real quick?
Always.
All right, let's go to, hold on. First off, let me send a screenshot here so I can go ahead and bet
You
this.
do that. I'm going to give my De'Aaron Fox take.
Yeah, do that, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm not sure this is even actionable, but when you have a situation, I've been thinking about this, and definitely maybe this is stupid. I don't know. And that's the answer. I don't know how hurt he is. I think there's a non-zero chance it's pretty bad, though. Like, this could be one of the rare situations where you take a very small unit allocation and parlay him to be basically ineffective. Like, he tries to play and he actually can't shoot. I don't think that's the case. From what I've heard, he's going to be more likely good to go. But is it impossible that De'Aaron Fox is unable to actually function with a broken finger? And if that's the case, if you go like very aggressive same game parlays and you short everything, it could be something that the books really can't quantify because we just don't know how hurt he is. I didn't think he was going to play.
Yeah. So what does this spread indicate to you?
That
about
he's fine.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Right. I mean, and you almost have to bet accordingly.
I mean, again, this is why if you're going to fully leverage it, this is like a totally different. I'm not saying that I think this is the case. I'm saying that there's a non-zero chance that De'Aaron Fox might actually be seriously limited by this. And if that's the case, all of his totals, projections, everything is wrong by the books.
And you're just not going to touch it as a whole.
I might look to play around with what can I get on like a crazy mass under De'Aaron Fox. Now, I like the Kings for the series. I have the Kings plus 1.5 games. I think the Kings have a damn good shot to win tonight. But if you told me De'Aaron Fox is completely useless, obviously most of that goes out the window.
Okay. By the way, Keegan
and it's
Murray's
true.
rebound.
It's a finger, so like, but it is on a shooting hand. That's not nothing.
Correct. No, it's not. Real quick, Keegan Murray's rebounds have already moved to 4.5.
There you go.
So we need a new leg.
Okay.
Because I haven't even been able to bet this thing yet, and this sucker already moved. So what do you say?
Sabonis under 13.5 rebounds.
Okay.
4% ROI. It substitutes in that same game. I think Sabonis is going to play well tonight, but again, the market is showing us that on FanDuel specifically, there's some potential value there on the Sabonis 13.5 at -106, I believe. That's a pretty damn good price out there. Yeah, FanDuel has it at -110. A lot of books have already moved this to -130. So I'm fine with that.
That's a hell of a bet. Yep. We're still right. I got it at like 1187 or something. So we're in great shape there. So we've got the community parlay. Do you want to hit something on PrizePicks real quick before we get out of here?
Let's see what, I know it's not Taco Tuesday, but PrizePicks, let's see what they got going on.
So D-Lo is popping for under 2.5 3-pointers. Really like that. I just don't know why he would have increased volume here. I've been burned on some turnover props for him, but I don't know if 3 threes for D'Angelo Russell tonight seems a little ambitious. I know he's hit that in 2 of the 4 games, but he's needed volume upon volume to get there. And I just don't know if you're going to get that, including overtime the last game. So I don't have a problem with that. You know, Hachimura is an interesting one, right? Because for 2 games, this dude just explode, or 3 games, was it? Like this dude just explodes. And then all of a sudden it's like, everybody's like, oh, he's going to drop 25 a night. And he kind of comes back to normal. That's now at 11. That seems like such a low number for Hachimura, no?
I mean, again, that's just like always the funniest part about playoffs is you're running it back over and over, and the books are not going to be influenced like I think people like me, like you, when you see something like Jimmy Butler is the perfect example. It feels logically like, oh my God, his points prop should be like 40 tonight. The guy's but no, it's basically where it was before he dropped 56. And Rui playing well for a couple games doesn't make him more likely to play well here. That's just the reality of it. And with his minutes on the road, I think I'm actually pretty comfortable with the under 11.5.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think you're right. Just looking at it from an individual, everything is individual. All the circumstances reset. It's a basketball game with nothing prior, etc. The number should make sense. If you just get caught in recent stuff without any circumstances, that's fine. Malik Monk popped up. We talked a little bit about Giannis. Yep. These are some smaller markets, though, like Caleb Martin and Malik Monk. Over 23.5 PRA for Monk. Who,
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that could also factor in for Murray or anybody else, you know, maybe Fox suffering minutes, right?
Like if Fox is a little limited and he just doesn't shoot as much. I mean, Malik Monk has been just unbelievable. He's not single-handedly, but his first game was fantastic. Dropped 32. Guy's automatic from the free throw line. Volume is there, 13, 15, 9, and 14 field goal attempts. I think he's going to have double-digit field goal attempts in this spot. I like that number quite a bit.
So there's one, I wanted to just let's take Giannis out. And if you take Giannis out, something new popped in, and that's Mitchell under 29.5 points. We've got that at a 59% clip of hitting. So that's our top bet for PrizePicks tonight across any sport. So I was just going to take out Giannis, if that's okay, because I'm under Giannis in real life, not on PrizePicks.
That's fine.
But we also get to add Donovan Mitchell at under 29.5 points, which he has not been the 45 a night heavy volume guy in Utah here. And understandably, this is not a great series. Like, it's not a great series for Julius Randle. It's not a great matchup, right, for Julius Randle. And clearly the Knicks are doing everything they can to just cause issue for Donovan Mitchell, on top of the fact that he's just struggling shooting. So you've got those two combinations.
Yeah, I mean,
unless he can take 30 shots tonight, Ben, he ain't scoring 30 points.
And he might. Like, he is live to take 30 shots. He took 30 shots in the first game. But you got to kind of live with that. The efficiency hasn't been there. It's a slow tempo series. I do think Cleveland's going to hold that at home, but it doesn't mean that Donovan Mitchell just explodes for some type of nuclear game. He does seem like a good ladder candidate if you're going the other direction, just because he's a volatile player. But I'm fine with that. And again, PrizePicks is just another way to utilize the tools here at OddsShopper. You may have it, you may not. It's just another way. It's showing you the positive EV bets for the tool to maximize your potential. 25x if you go 6 for 6. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. And you don't even need to go 6 for 6 to make some money too, which is the beauty of it. And look, we've got tons of PrizePicks content on here. We like to feed the beast because there are plenty of people like New York, for example, where people play both. You can straddle the line. That's fine. All right. Community parlay here. I'm going to add, well, actually, let's do this. Before we get out of here and hit the community parlay, do you have a 30 and 3 candidate tonight? Do you have a guy that can get 30 or 3 threes and just kind of build off that? So,
both,
for example,
or either.
Well, look, the holy grail is to find somebody that you can bet 30 plus points, 3 threes, and it not kill you, like with correlation. So here's what I'm thinking. All right. Here's what I'm thinking. Karis LeVert is plus 130 to make 3 threes tonight. 3 threes is plus 130. He sits at 13.5 points. 15 points is plus 110. Now, that's a shitty correlation because I'm only getting plus 185 on that same game parlay. So I'd have to push this to probably 20 points for Karis LeVert. Now I'm sitting at 5-1. Do you have a better version of that? Because I would just play Karis LeVert at this point at 3+3s.
Yeah, I mean, most of these are going to be pretty badly correlated. Like Ja comes to mind if you want like an elite scorer.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. They're correlated until you add a third leg. So what we were doing is taking somebody like in the first quarter. So Ja's at 7.5 first quarter points. Right?
Okay.
So Ja at 30 is plus 140. Now that's at plus 210. And you want to add what? 3 threes for Ja?
I mean, again, he's the type of guy. To me, there's only a couple of players on each team that even like logically could hit 3 threes and score 30 points, if that's what you're asking. Like,
absolutely.
You know, Sabonis and AD, these guys are not going to do that.
No,
I don't like Jimmy Butler overs tonight. Steph, obviously, like basically is going to do that, but you don't get paid off for that. So,
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. This is a long shot, but such is life. Jordan Poole has had plenty of minutes. He's had plenty of volume. He's had plenty of shooting opportunities. He just hasn't been able to knock down shots. 25-4 tonight for Jordan Poole, which would correlate. Like he's probably going to get 4 threes if he gets to 25 points. That's 1130. That's plus 1130. So to your point, every single heavyweight superstar is going to be thoroughly correlated. And there are other guys like Keegan Murray ain't going to get us 30-4 tonight. So maybe Jordan Poole has a little value. I'm going to bet it. You don't have to bet it. I'm going to bet it for you.
I'm not betting it. The thing that's good about Jordan Poole is he takes an extreme amount of shots. And if he's making them, he's going to be on the court for a lot of minutes. So,
okay.
No, he could go 1 from 9 from 3 and you're completely dead. That's not really relevant. You're just saying, what are the chances that he gets on fire? I mean, he took 15 shots in 26 minutes in the last game. That's the type of output you want. So,
right.
I get it.
And look, they're winning. You see, but even in a loss, 22 minutes or so, he took 10 shots, 5 threes. That's going to increase if he makes it. You want an anomaly? Okay. You want to focus on game 2? That's an anomaly for me because nothing else would indicate that he would be out there like that, especially since we've already seen him maximize just over 6 more minutes there. All right, let's get out of here with the community parlay, man. You ready?
Okay. What did the community pick?
Mike?
Win it. Monk not healthy, Fox production. Yeah, I mean, the Lake Show.
So you can't look that.
You want to go FanDuel?
Yeah, and shout out Joey B. I don't know. Like I was going to grow the Harden beard back, but I just don't know how long James Harden's going to be out there on the floor. I mean, these guys might get run off. You talk about a misnomer. The Sixers like gaining an advantage for being off 10 days after a first round of the playoffs. There isn't anybody that's played this game at that level that will tell you like, yeah, we need more time off. They've ramped themselves all the way up here. All right, let's do this. Lakers +4.
Yes.
So you can't go Lakers. You can't go Lakers Grizz now in this game.
You can do whatever you want. I mean, I'm not going to do that anyway. So.
Well, no, but otherwise it would have to be like a same game parlay X.
Well, yeah. I mean, we shouldn't do that. Do you want to go second or you want me to go here? I'm going to the ice.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
And you know, it's a combination. I'm going to go under Giannis. I'm going to go under 48.5 PRA for Giannis. Okay. That's at FanDuel at +102. I still see, look, if they're winning by a lot, there's no need to force him out there. He isn't 100%. and he's playing through injury. And there isn't going to be this magic 50-point game here for Milwaukee. Like, Milwaukee surviving is not mutually inclusive with Giannis doing everything. If Giannis has a decent game, they still have talent around that can hang with this Miami team. And on top of that, I do think that the spread is probably sharper than not. And I don't see him out there for a shit ton if they are up and handling Miami. So I'm going to stay under 48.5 PRA plus 102.
Okay. Got it. Giannis on the board. That's going to be a fascinating game. There's so much intrigue tonight. I'm going to the ice as I normally am. I'm not picking a side, even though I do like the Avalanche quite a bit. I'm going to go to Boston and the Panthers over 6.5 goals. And we're getting plus money on that. Plus 102 over 6.5 goals. So for me, pretty simple. Panthers had 44 shots in the last game. They're putting pucks on the net. They're just not really scoring. The Bruins are unstoppable. They're going to score at home. This is it. We are seeing this in all these games. If you're losing, you pull the goalie with 5 minutes left. If you give up an empty net, you keep the goalie pulled. I have seen numerous games now where the extra empty net equity is so high in these games. Obviously, if it's 3-3 in overtime, we win. Even if this game is 3-2 late, it could end 5-2 so easily with these empty nets. So for me, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think both teams are live to hang at least a couple goals. Wouldn't stun me if one team got to 5. Over 6.5 at plus money. Count me in tonight.
Love it. Love it. 6, 7, 8. That's a nice number right there for our community parlay. I have no problem with that. That's going to hit all 3 legs. So we appreciate you rolling with us. Hey, you want something to mess around with on the way out? Mike Trout, Hunter Renfroe, each to hit a home run, plus 999.
What a great way to end it.
999.
Look at that. 6, 7, 8. This is a good parlay. Good show.
That's
Let's
a great
keep it
parlay.
rolling.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you all here. Again, if you can hit the thumbs up button, we appreciate that. We want you subscribed here. There's over 70,000 people a part of this community. So if you're not, you should ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Well, just sign up and you can fix that. At JazzRazDFS, at Shander Show. Real quick, I don't even need an explanation. I just need a name. Take John Rahm, take Tony Finau out. Who's winning the Mexico Open?
Oh, easy. Benny on. Bong Hoon on.
Well, I gave you a chance to say Grillo, and you still did not.
Because he's not going to win. I hope he wins, but he's not going to win.
Just remember the name. Kevin Tway.
Yeah.
We'll see you.